We are back on the Infowars Nightly News. Joining us now is Rob Jacobson, who's worked behind the scenes for now more than 8 years, mainly behind the scenes at Infowars, to talk about what happened over the weekend at South by Southwest, which, for those who don't know, is a huge music and movie and interactive event festival. Lots of special guests. Hundreds and hundreds of people and bands and groups handing out things in the streets, flyers, promotional materials. But our street team got cited by police for handing out these magazines. Of course, you can get subscriptions of the Infowars magazine. You can hand them out in bulk, but they were handing them out for free on the streets of Austin and were cited by police for something there's no code for. We know that because we called the police station and found that there was nothing to enforce the event, or someone in the city, we're trying to figure out exactly what, had pressured them to give a warning citation to one of our people. They later backed off, and we found that most of the police actually didn't agree with that. We have one clip here of a police officer saying he wasn't handing out citations. Can we roll that now?
So can you get the sergeant for me?
Is there anything specific that you need to ask?
Yes,
I'm not going to call out a sergeant out here unless you need something that you need right now.
Yeah, there are people receiving citations for handing things
Where?
out.
I need a specific incident.
There's one citation.
Okay. There's a phone number right here that you can probably call.
Are you handing out any citations today?
No, I'm not. Not unless I have to.
So we sent reporters down there. That was David Ortiz speaking with police. We spoke with police also. They said they weren't enforcing it. There was no law or policy they were aware of. It just happened. So, of course, Alex decided to go down and protest it because it's selective infringement of free speech. There's really no reason to do it. Again, people are handing out promotions all over downtown Austin. Rob Jacobson, you were there. Tell us what happened at the protest and what you think about this free speech issue.
Well, thanks, Aaron. I'm glad, first of all, when we went down there, there were about 150, 200 people who showed up, and it was really exciting to see that many people show up at such short notice because, Aaron, this is a really important subject, freedom of speech and selective enforcement going on at the same time. I mean, when South by rolls into town, it really is like the circus has rolled into town. There's entertainers, movie people, just characters of all sort here to promote
celebrities and VIPs,
everything. You could see anybody. You see everybody and everybody in town for this week, and they're handing out their palm cards. They're handing out CDs. They're handing out videos. They're doing performances on the street. They got T-shirts. They got everything you could think of, and it's going on right now. If you just you could just go downtown right now and get any type of this merch being handed out to everybody on the street. And it was surprising, I guess, for everybody to find out that when our street team went down there to hand out basically what everybody else is entitled to hand out, we got selectively enforced by South by Southwest. I mean, from what we gather, it's by South by Southwest because the very next day the cops stopped enforcing that, knowing that there was no enforcement for them to follow. Like,
we can't give someone a ticket if there's no citation, if there's no ordinance, and there's not, according to anything we can gather what the police station itself told us.
Plus, I mean, to give a pamphlet of information out on a public street is every American's right to do so. I mean, we're not, you know, putting anybody in danger.
It's very like America Ground Zero right there.
Exactly.
That's revolution material there.
And on top of that, we heard from another person who participated at the event yesterday that also, while handing out, I think it was a member of our street team was telling us that while handing out these magazines, after the cops were told not to enforce the citation, a bouncer came out and basically bowed up to a member of our street team and said, you can't, I think it was Max, actually.
By the way, we have some footage of some of the people on the street team handing out the magazines. You could do this, too, in your area. But, yeah, we're getting harassed downtown when there's just hundreds, maybe even thousands of groups trying to promote whatever it is they're into, a band or some kind of special deal, whatever it is. Everyone's trying to promote. Nobody's necessarily trying to sell anything, per se, just by handing something out on the street.
I think for most artists, South by is about networking. It's about getting to know other people, getting the word out about yourself, and that's exactly what we were doing. We were getting our word out. We have a message about what's going on in this country. We also have a message about where to find this information, and we have every entitlement to go down there just like everybody else does, and to get the word out on the street of what we're up to, and for the cops to come down, and then for even worse, for South by themselves to come down, get their bouncer to bow up to our guys. It's ridiculous. I mean, South by Southwest does come into town. It does have, the city does have this kind of feeling like they're dominating the entire city, but that doesn't mean they are dominating the city, and the citizens still have their rights. They're
an important and noted fixture, but yeah, our rights don't go away because they're having a festival. And by the way, it's decentralized. They use hundreds, dozens of event locations.
Exactly.
It's not all just at one central convention center or something. That's only one of the locations they use.
Hundreds of bars.
Now, we're about to go to the video clip in just a moment, but tell us briefly what happened at the actual protest with Alex.
Well, briefly what happened is Alex protested. He showed up. There was a lot of participants that showed up as well, and he basically made it clear to the cops who were involved, who were there, who all seemed like they were all in agreement with Alex. Like, it was a ridiculous thing to even be suggested that there be selective enforcement like that. And there was a lot of security people who were behind the scenes that kind of approached the glass and took a look at us and then walked away with their little earpieces.
But they heard us and the cops backed off. So here's the Infowars magazine. Some people in the city of Austin and indeed around the globe don't want you to see. Let's go now to the piece David Knight put together showing us that South by Southwest protest and why it fits in with the spirit of independence we're trying to promote here at Infowars.com.
March 6th, 1836. The Battle for the Alamo. 177 years ago, we still remember and celebrate their bravery. But what did they die for? It wasn't Anglo versus Mexican. It was people of every tongue, tribe, and race standing against tyranny. They could have gone along quietly. They could have surrendered and surrendered their freedoms, but they didn't. They drew their line in the sand and said, "We'll die before we give up our freedoms." Well, Colonel Travis drew a line in the sand at the Alamo, and 60 years before the Alamo, the founders of this country drew the line at a small tax on tea. Where do you draw the line on tyranny? As I returned to Austin, I found that, like cities all over America, corporatists were trying to deny basic freedoms by intimidation. South by Southwest is big business here in Austin. It's a huge industry show for music, film, and interactive media. And they seem to think they own Austin for that week. As Infowars is handing out our monthly magazine for free, South by Southwest got some Austin police officers to issue warnings, then tickets when we wouldn't stop. But there is no ordinance against handing out free information on public streets, whether or not South by Southwest is in town.
Well, I have my car parked there with some banners on the side, and that was illegal. So they told me they were gonna give me a ticket, that I was gonna get in trouble just because I had my banners there. I had some magazines in front of the car. So it is true, we had to hassle with them.
Then they told you they couldn't hand them out. We got a ticket.
Yeah, and then this cop, he was giving out warnings to everybody, even people that were giving away free hogs. Yeah, they got tickets as well. Today, actually, this guy was harassing us and saying that we can't give away more magazines because we are not sponsors of South by Southwest.
Did you hear that? Now South by Southwest people, because they ain't getting the cops to harass us, because the cops are now behaving like they should under the Constitution, they're now having people come up and harass us saying you can't on city streets hand a magazine out because you're not South by Southwest. They now say they own Austin. Does the Chronicle own Austin? Because nothing stops people that aren't backing down. Nothing stops people that are willing to die. Nothing stops 1776. Nothing stops it. You got that scum? Nothing. Because I'll close with this. I'll close with this. The words for V for Vendetta. Flesh and blood, it dies. It's not bulletproof, but ideas are bulletproof. You got that? I'm slash protest. You folks are awesome, and I know I keep saying that, but it is so humbling to sit here and talk to you. I want to say this. I salute you, those that actually aren't in a trance and that are awake and understand what's happening. You are the founders of the new republic. The globalists have already taken over the old republic, but we will restore the great republic again. And as the tyrants try to oppress the people, that will only make more of us awaken. The answer to 1984 is 1776. The answer to 1984 is 1776. 1776. 1776.
Jakari Jackson here, and I want to talk to you for a second about water. You know about ProPure, our flagship water purification system, but check out some of our portable water filter products at InfoWarsStore.com. The clearly filtered water pitcher. Also, for those of you on the go, we have the Athlete Edition filtered water bottle and the RAD Eliminator Pro filtered sports bottle that removes radiation. And keep in mind, we have replacement filters for all of these products. The ever-popular grab-and-go bag favorite, the Life Straw, the Crystal Quest shower filter system, and the Aquapod kit, great for mass storage of water. And while you're at the InfoWars shop, pick up a copy of our latest book, 31 Days to Survival. You can find all this and more at the InfoWarsStore.com, and don't forget it's your support that funds our operation. Sign up for our free newsletter at Infowars.com/newsletter.